When the king suffers, the whole realm feels his pain. And now Camelot is in ruins. The Holy Grail has been shattered. Your warriors are alone in the darkness, fighting for survival. Something has ripped a hole in your kingdom, a wound that never heals. It grows and festers, spewing out monsters. We need your help before all is lost. Britannia awaits you once again, King Arthur.
Hello everyone, welcome to the King Arthur 2 live broadcasting. I'm Orsia from Neocore Games.
And I'm Linda Bozaradi from Neocore Games. Such a surprise.
And today we're going to show you King Arthur 2 Dead Legions. That serves as a prologue to King Arthur 2 the role-playing war game. And if you pre-order the full game now, then you can get this prologue campaign for free. And if you do it on Steam, you can play immediately. Start playing, downloading and playing immediately after the purchase. So, King Arthur 2 Dead Legions is a tale of revival, resurrection, and revenge. And you will see how one of the most formidable adversaries of King Arthur came into power. But we have a very good intro video about the background story of the prologue campaign, so let's start it.
Let's start.
Here we go.
Long before the glorious days of King Arthur, even before his father Uther Pendragon was born, Britannia saw the arrival of the legions. In the name of the Roman emperors they invaded the south, then set out to conquer the whole land. At the northernmost point of their conquest, where they met the savage Picts, they halted and founded the giant fort of Iberacum. Iberacum grew and became the capital of the northern provinces. But the Romans who came here never felt at ease. They feared Britannia, the wizards, and the gods in the woods. They knew that something ancient was slumbering beyond Iberacum, up in the north. So the Roman Emperor Hadrian decided to build a wall to protect his land. Legends speak of Hadrian's wits and his mastery in the arcane, but some say he had help from a young wizard called Merlin. The wall was magnificent, and for a long time stone and magic kept out the tribes and everything else that lurked out in the cold. Then, times changed. When the fabled 9th Legion disappeared beyond the wall, it was the turn of the tide. The Romans slowly withdrew from Britannia. But 5 noble families decided to stay in Ibaracum. They succumbed to decadence and fought over the remnants of their former glory, until a young monarch in the south, a Briton called Arthur, changed everything. The flames of magic flared up again, and a new age of wonders began. The noble families realized that it was the time they had been waiting for. While King Arthur was uniting the south, they were busy squabbling over their possible leader. The Sula family seemed to be the right choice to build a new Ibaracum, but not everyone agreed. The family's enemies were merely waiting for the right moment to deal with the Sulas and their heir, the valiant Septimus. The right moment is now. Something terrible has happened in the south, where King Arthur rules the land. Meanwhile, Ibaracum is under threat from the north. The wall cannot hold back the Picts much longer. When Septimus left his family, his bride and his friends and rode off to battle, he was betrayed by his own kind. They abandoned him and his warriors in the heat of the battle, and he found himself alone, surrounded by savages. Still, he fought valiantly, until a fateful blow sent him sprawling to the ground. The Picts left him there, on the other side of the wall, in the firm belief that he was dead, and they were almost right. Septimus Sulla lay among the fallen for a very long time, and then, suddenly, he opened his eyes.
I forgot to mention before that on the chat there are 2 designers waiting for your questions, so feel free to ask anything game related because they will answer you. We will jump right into the middle of the campaign because we just want to skip the tutorial. As I said, it is a role-playing war game. Some of you might already know what this means, but some of you might not, so I will explain that a role-playing war game means that it is a mixture of RPGs and strategy games. We have a turn-based campaign map and huge real-time battles, and we have implemented lots of RPG elements everywhere. This is the campaign map of King Arthur 2 Dead Legions. It's only the middle part of Britannia. It takes only in this region, but of course the main campaign will take place on a lot larger area because it will include everything from Cornwall to the northernmost corner of the land, including Scotland, so it will be a lot bigger.
Yeah, so it's only a part of it.
Yeah, but this is what we have for King Arthur 2 Dead Legions, our very, very nice prologue campaign. And this is our main hero, Septimus Sulla. So, the campaign map is divided into provinces that you can capture, and there are many, many locations that you can also capture, and they will grant you different kind of very powerful bonuses. And they will also give you lore points that you can research more, and so on, you will see later. So let's see what we have to the left. We have a very nice user interface. This is the objective tree. The objectives are the most important bunch of quests because one objective can include more quests. So, for example, we have 3 objectives open now: the Search of Savages, the Rise of the Legions, and the Governor of Iboracum. And for example, the Rise of the Legions objective requires 2 different quests to be completed. We kept the morality chart of the first game, so you can still make rightful Christian tyrant and old faith decisions in your quests, and depending on your decisions you will unlock different kind of bonuses.
Unfortunately now we are on the rightful path.
Yes, I prefer rightful, but Linda always prefers to go tyrant. This is the diplomacy panel. It might be a little bit familiar to some of you who played the first game's expansions because it appeared there first, but of course we improved it, and it is also part of the King Arthur 2 main campaign, and of course the prologue campaign as well. We have a location list. So these are to the right, these are the provinces that you own, and to the left, those are the locations that each province has. So these are the locations that were the closing of the Sula province, and now this is the location of the Legowalan province. And all of them are upgradable. Each of them, every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. We understand it perfectly.
Okay, so we also have a military advancement tree. Our units are now basic, but right now we have 20 military points, and only 10 points are needed to have veteran units. So we will have soon veteran units for our army. And we also have a chronicle that tells you many important info about the events, about background, the characters that you can meet in this game, the Roman families, the forces that you will fight against, and of course background, history, facts, and so on. So let's start our first diplomacy quest.
The barbarian kingdom of Malahort is slowly being torn apart by inner conflicts. A group of local lords openly declared war on their own queen, since they are certain that she's nothing but a puppet, slave to an accursed royal relic that's poisoning her soul and stealing away her sanity. There are Roman families in Iberacum that have been secretly participating in this conflict. The Quintus family supports the rebels, while the Massalas sided with the queen. Meanwhile, the Severus family strives to restore the peace that will benefit trade. You need to take sides now, as the man you need, Valerius, the former commander of the legions, is the prisoner of the queen.
So, we came here to free Valerius Pera, and he will be one of our heroes, and he will be a powerful hero, so we need him desperately. We can choose from several options. One option is to hire marauders or savages to rescue him. Another option is to ally with the queen, but of course, as she is tyrant, that will cause 1+ the tyrant morality on our side, but it will increase our relationship with the Malahut queen. And of course, as the Roman families are participating in this conflict, it will increase or decrease our reputation with these families. We can also choose to ally with the rebels. Now we don't want to increase or decrease any reputation. We just simply pay the ransom for the queen, and that means that we lose 3,000 gold pieces and no reputation losses, and increases diplomatically.
Commander Sulak, our troops have received new equipment and have finished their extended training. You'll be pleased to hear that our military strength has increased almost threefold as a result. This means that we can now engage in conflicts that were previously impossible for us to win.
So, as you can see, our unit models have changed now, because now we have veteran units. Praetorians instead of legionaries, Sula veteran auxilia compared to basic auxilia units.
They have different stats.
Yeah, so the stats have increased a lot, so they are a lot more powerful now. So we can take up the fight against a lot more powerful enemies. So this is Valerius Pera, and we just add him to our army. And as it is a turn-based campaign map, then we will end our turn now. This was autumn, because every turn is one season. This was autumn, so what comes now is naturally winter.
Wow.
And yes, and winter is a special season because your army is camped during the winter, and of course every other army on the campaign map is camped during the winter, because winter is dedicated for upgrades, for building and research. So let's see what happened to our army first. This is Septimus Sula's info page. On the general panel, you can see that he is a sage. We have 3 different hero classes, sages, warlords, and champions. So Septimus Sula is a sage, or you can call it mage if you want. And on the general panel you can see his stats, his damage, hit points, defense, mana, spell power, and you can grant him fiefdoms, because now we have 2 provinces, the Sula province and the Sagidunum province. And if we give it to him, then it will give him several bonuses. For example, our leadership increased now because of the Sula province.
Yeah, and every hero has special traits, and they affect for example, the gold income of their fiefdoms, or their stats, or the unit stats.
And as your hero gains experience in battles and levels up, then you will get several bonuses for him. For example, you can choose 1 bonus here after every level. For example, now we want to increase his hit points or mana. Anyway, and you will also get skill points after every level up. Now this hero has 8 skill points that we can spend on different skills. For example, we want to learn Arcane Fortification. That will add 10 magic shield to the army of the hero, but it is an active spell, so it requires mana, and we can use it in the battles. We can learn another spell, for example, like Wind of the North, and this is a spell that you can use in melee fight. And we can also increase the mana points of the hero with this Mana Rush skill. And you can also equip your heroes with several artifacts. As you can see, as he is a sage, he can carry a staff and an amulet, and another amulet, and armor and 2 rings, but it differs depending on the hero costs. For example, a warlord can carry a 1-handed weapon and a banner, and a champion, that's a sage, and a champion can carry either a 1-handed weapon and a shield, or a 2-handed weapon. As we're not too far into the campaign, you can see that we don't have artifacts for all of our heroes. So, but we may want to do that later. This is one of our units, a cavalry unit, and not just your heroes gain experience in battles. Every unit also gains experience in every battle that they take part in. And they will also get ability points, and after 5 levels they can also choose 1 new skill, like this heavily armored skill, or the reinforced magic shield skill. As I said, winter is also dedicated to building. So let's see our location list. For example, in the Luguvalum province, or in the Sagidunum province, we can upgrade several locations. For example, this abandoned fort is what we can use for artifact forging. But if we build this alchemist's workshop, we can also sacrifice artifacts to raise one of our heroes' experience points. We start construction, and it takes 5 turns to build this building. And we can also research. So as I said, you will gain military points and lore points during your campaign, and you can spend, no, you can't spend your lore points. So you just gather these lore points, and then this bar will go down and down and down, unlocking new and new available research options that you can choose to research for gold. Okay, so let's end the turn, because we're finished with winter, and we can see the game, finally.
Yeah.
So, let's go a bit north.
On my way.
End turn. And someone is coming from the north. What a surprise. Again.
Yeah. With the red light. It
Yes.
means battle.
it's a battle quest. And we have the option to ask for help from the other Roman families. For example, the Quintus family.
A large Pict horde broke through a neglected section of the wall. They routed the Caracalla Legion and headed south, leaving smoldering villages in their wake. According to a captured Pict warrior, the horde plans to abandon their usual methods and are heading straight to the heart of the province. The Senate has charged you with the task of halting their advance, but you are entitled to ask the other families for help.
So we can ask the other families for help, and we can do it two ways. We have the right to demand help, but of course that will lower our reputation with these families. So now we're asking for support from the Quintus family, so it will decrease our reputation with the Quintus family. But we can also ask them for their help, and that's a lot more polite. Of course that will cost us gold, but it will increase our reputation, and in the long run it's the better choice. So now I will choose this. I'd like 2 legions from the well-trained Quintus army for this mission. And I will get it in the battle against the Pict hordes. So let's see what a battle looks like. Attack. First we can see the stats of enemy units, so we can be prepared. For example, this enemy army has 1 hero, and it has 2 flying units, 2 Talonfolk units. And it's good to know that Talonfolk are very vulnerable against archers and against magic. So that's good to know, we have to use it against them. They also have several giants, and that's a problem because they are strong, but of course we are stronger. So if you see the army strength indicator, it says that this army is weak, very weak, so we can take them down easily. They also have archer units and picked warriors. So let's jump into the battle. So battles are real-time assaults, huge real-time assaults. And there are several locations as well that you can capture, but if you played the first game, then you might think that it works the same way, but no. It was changed. In the first game, the locations granted you a bonus that you could use only in a certain area around that location. But now these locations will grant you global bonuses that you can use anywhere on the battlefield. So you just capture the location, only make sure that it is not recaptured by the enemy, and then you will enjoy the bonuses that these locations grant you. So when you start a battle, every time the camera sweeps between these locations, showing you where you can find them.
Yeah, and you can see the whole battlefield.
Yeah.
Which are more various in King Arthur 2 than it was in King Arthur 1.
And this stone circle will grant us the Storm of Avalon spell that is very useful against the enemy archers, but of course
and against my
against our
archers
as well. So we will have to make sure that we only use it when we don't have to use our archers anymore.
I'm sorry for the interruption, but I have to change it because
yeah,
I'm not able to.
It's also good because you can see that you can change many things in the options.
Yeah.
And I think that the unit silhouettes are also on in this build. If you want to, yeah, the unit silhouettes, you can see that your units are visible through the forests. So.
You can switch off them, but I won't.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks better if you switch it off, but of course if you want to play tactically, then you might want to switch it on. So let's take a look at the enemy army. These are the picked hordes, giants. And the hero, where's the hero? I guess he's in the forest.
Yeah.
So these are the Talonfolk. Yeah, these are the flying units.
Talon shots.
So they are really vulnerable against archers and magic, and they don't have too much hit points, so feel free to attack them by magic. So we finished the deployment phase, and now we're heading to the enemy. What you can see there, switch back to the archers please.
Sorry?
Yeah, I was just going to explain that. What you see here, these lines are the shooting range of the archers.
So let's take a look at the giants again.
Yeah.
They are shaking the earth.
Yes, they do indeed. And what you can see on the top of the screen, to the
Wow,
left
there
and to the
is
right, yeah,
an
that's the
enemy
hidden hero.
hero.
We couldn't find him
Oh,
earlier. Yes.
I was worried about him.
Yeah, so on the top of the screen, to the left and to the right, you can see our own magic shield in blue and the enemy's magic shield in red. So the enemy's magic shield is right now at normal, so as we have some spells that we want to use that have a normal spell penetration, that means that they won't get through the shield yet. So first we have to lower the enemy's shield a little bit. We have the Winds of the North,
Which has a normal spell penetration,
Yes.
so
it will be,
decrease it.
yeah, it will be absorbed, but it decreases the enemy's magic shield. And now we will be able to use the Lightning Bolt spell, because it has a normal spell penetration and the enemy has a magic shield below normal. So now we can use it. This is the casting range that you can see with the blue line.
And the casting time as well.
Yeah. And this is the casting time. That means that every spell can be interrupted during the casting time, but not every spell has a casting time, because it's only for the most powerful spells. So you can interrupt an enemy hero during spell casting if you attack him with any of your units, or if you cast any spells that don't have a casting time and hit immediately. But it has to get through the magic shield, so you will have to be careful with it. Or you can use your flying units, because later in the game you will have flying units as well, dragons, gargoyles, and many more. Above the minimap you can see 2 legionaries, and those are the legionaries that we got from the Quintus family. If you remember that diplomatic
Yeah, we
fleet.
paid 800 gold for them.
Yes. And the enemy has cast a spell.
Storm of Avalanche.
Yes. So every archer is now useless, they can't shoot.
Yeah. Because you can see that the archers cannot shoot in storm, and the sight range is reduced by 50%. And actually every unit moves slower.
Yes, so it's also wrong for us and not good for
Yeah.
the enemy either, but our archers are stronger than theirs, so it was a clever move. So, as you can see, you can also change the weather with spells,
Yeah.
but in some battlefields, the weather changes dynamically. And that was the Winds of the North spell that Linda just
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah,
And we couldn't
I tried to
see.
show the description as well.
Yeah. So if you see that, so they
Yeah?
no longer, because again. So sorry, I was just trying to show you that if the hero is fighting, then you can't cast the other 3 spells. Because they require a casting time, and I said that you can interrupt the hero while he is casting a spell that requires casting time. So if your hero is fighting, then you can't cast these 3 spells: the Lightning Bolt, the Venomous Curse, and the Arcane Fortification. So, how about decreasing the enemy shield a little bit further? Not increasing ours, decreasing theirs.
Decreasing.
Yes. Never mind. Oh, Storm of Avalon is over at last. So now we can shoot with our archers as well, if you want.
Yeah, we want. But one of my archers unit is in a huge trouble.
Sula is fighting now. So how about casting another Winds of the North? Yeah, it freezes the enemies. So for a while, yes, for a while they cannot move. But it only freezes the enemies in a certain area around the heroes. So that is why I said that it's a spell that you can only use in melee fight. Yeah, so you can get really close to enemy units and your units as well, of course. You can also use the cleave skill that you got from that location that you captured. And it will cause that your hero will attack 3 opponents at once. It's the first level cleave skill. When you increase, because every champion can have this skill as well, and if you increase this spell to level 3 for example, then he will attack 7 opponents at the same time, and that's cool. We got
a message.
Yes, that the enemy hero has been killed.
Such a shame.
Yeah. So, we won the battle. We only lost 18 soldiers. Linda, you're too good.
Okay,
yeah, we're playing on casual.
Casual,
yes.
So I'm playing on Nightmare.
Normally, yes.
Yeah.
So, casual is really, really, really easy, as you can see.
But Nightmare is not.
Yes.
Because,
yeah, it's really, really hard. What a surprise. Yeah. So our units and heroes gained experience points, as you can see. So they will increase their... So they will level up.
They can increase their stats.
Yes, exactly. And we also got artifacts. So let's see what we can do with those artifacts if we can't use all of them to equip our heroes.
Yeah.
Are we going to gather them till till the end or what? No. We can forge new artifacts. So in this location we can forge new artifacts, and you can use 3 artifacts to forge a new item. One will determine the type of the new artifact. The other one will determine the primary most likely bonus that you will get from the new item, and the other one will determine the secondary most likely bonus that you will get from the forged item. So it's randomized, but you can influence the outcome. For example, Sula doesn't have the second ring yet, so we might want to create a ring. So if we put a ring to the type location, we will get a ring.
We have some special artifacts like this one. It's a component, so it means that you can't equip your heroes with them, but you can use them for forging.
Yeah, exactly. So for
let's
example,
see.
this will give you +4 magic shield, and the hero gains +1 mana every 10 seconds. That's a very good thing. So let's do this artifact, and here it is, and we just equipped our hero with our newly forged item. So close this panel, and let's see what we have down there. Nothing right now, but I tell you a secret. In the next turn, we will get a new quest there. Sorry. Sorry for that. So, we got a new quest. It's called Casting the Dice. and we will use our main hero and main army to go there. In the prologue campaign, you only have one hero.
One main.
Sorry, one main hero and
You have three heroes.
Sorry,
here.
I wanted to say you have one army, so you can't split your army here. But in the main campaign, you will be able to lead more major heroes and more armies. So let's start this quest and see what we have here.
New Rome is falling apart, and it's time to put an end to the everlasting debates and squabbles. But without a strong leader, it all seems impossible. Iberacum needs a governor again, and this is your chance to persuade the Senate that the ideal candidate is you.
So let's start.
You decide to spend your time usefully until the Senate is convened. You go through your speech again and make a list of all your possible allies and enemies. The day before the session, almost every senator is in Iberacum, and only the Quintus delegation is missing. If you want to make some personal rounds of the noble families, this is the time. Who do you want to visit?
So, of course, we want to make visits. First, we will visit the Severus family.
Cornelius Severus greets you with a diplomatic smile and listens to you with evasive politeness. "We both know that everything and everyone has a price," he says finally. "What is your offer?"
So, what should we choose? We can give him our word that he won't have to pay custom duties. Or we could grant him a monopoly in the artifact trade, or we can offer him gold. Let's grant him a monopoly in the artifact trade.
It sounds like a reasonable offer, but I need something more substantial if you wish to gain the support of my whole family. I want you to promise me that Iberacum will remain a neutral town, even after you are elected, and we will command the army that defends the town.
Okay, so he wants total control over Iberacum. It's really a huge price, but we can take it back later.
Cornelius Severus looks satisfied and assures you of his support. You leave his house in a good mood, although you are aware that despite his promises, he could still betray you if he finds it necessary. The day before the session, almost every senator is
So,
in
we also
Iberacum.
visit Livius
You
Massala.
meet Livius Massala in the majestic Massala family residence in the heart of Iberacum. He looks at you with some anticipation. How do you want to play this?
Of course we will threaten him. No question.
Livius Massala suddenly goes white as a sheet. The realization that his brother saw him killing their father obviously comes as a surprise to him. He knows that you can use this to finish him, and sensing his terror, you simply command him to support you. He reluctantly says yes.
Yeah, this is a story of an earlier quest that we helped him kill his father, but we made sure that his little brother sees everything. Now that is why we were able to threaten him.
The day before the session, almost every senator is in Iberacum. The Senate is in session again. You wait until everybody is there. Then you begin your inflammatory speech about the chaos in the provinces. You don't neglect to emphasize the threat from afar. You finish with a simple statement. This land needs a strong leader to survive. You. Whispering, questions, shouts, and loud demands fill the hall. The senators give each other confused looks. Your proposal is greeted hesitantly, but at least it is not directly refused. It's time to let your allies speak on your behalf. Cornelius Severus is obviously a master of oratory. The way he depicts your deeds, it feels like he's talking about a true emperor destined to achieve greatness and glory. His speech will clearly help your cause tremendously. Whispering, questions, shouts, and loud demands fill the hall. The senators give each other confused looks. Your proposal is greeted hesitant. Livius Marsala is not an experienced orator, and it clearly shows. His mumbling speech and his awkward reasoning will not help you much. Horatius Quintus sighs theatrically, but Cornelius Severus gives you a knowing look. Whispering, questions, shouts, and loud... Suddenly Ovidius Caracalla jumps to his feet. You are taken aback when you hear his words.
Senators of Iberacum, I must warn you. I'm convinced that Septimus Sulla bears the darkest curse of the gods. He is a danger to himself and a threat to the provinces of New Rome. He used to be a commander, but he led his legions into death. His family was too weak even to handle their own slaves, who rebelled and destroyed their lands.
You feel the sour taste of fury in your mouth, but you know that it'd be useless to interrupt him in this uproar.
And don't forget that Sulla was there when the venerable Pompeius Messala met his demise. Isn't that odd? He's spreading the curse.
He adds, and you see the panic on the face of Livius Messala. The noise is deafening in the hall, and the senators are jumping to their feet.
And what about the mysterious plague that struck right after his election to the Senate? The gods must have warned us, but we didn't listen.
Ovidius Caracalla roars. In his excitement, he grabs his goblet and sips from the wine. It's the perfect opportunity to interrupt him.
I saved Roman lives during the Battle of Iberacum.
You protest, but Ovidius Caracalla must have been prepared for this answer.
Oh, you did? And you let hundreds of soldiers perish?
The senators, however, don't look convinced. You've won this round.
People fall around Sulla like flies. Darkness and tragedy follows his every step. Who knows what sad fate will befall Iberacum if he's the governor?
Ovidius Caracalla pauses.
Well, I know. Augur, stand forth and share your vision with us.
Well, it seems obvious that the Caracallas don't really like us.
The augur is trembling like a leaf. In a weak voice, he speaks of the vision from the gods that showed him the dark future, the mighty wall, a desolate battlefield, and hundreds of dead Romans, with you standing in the middle of the carnage. The augur casts a frightened glance at Ovidius Caracalla, then at you. After a long pause, he finally answers. The vision speaks clearly. Septimus Sulla has been cursed by the gods, and he will destroy us. He can barely finish the sentence in the sudden uproar. You suddenly realize that the chaos in this hall will soon engulf all the provinces, leading to a civil war in New Rome. You must win this war. The only question is, who will be on your side? You look around the angry faces and wonder how the heads of the families will decide.
For Iberacum, for Septimus Sulla,
roars Horatius Quintus, and all his allies repeat his shout. You can count on the Quintus legions.
Great, we have the Quintus family.
The Massalas slowly gather around you, showing their support to the entire Senate. You can count on them in the upcoming battles.
We also have the Massalas.
Because they don't have any choice.
Cornelius Severus walks up to you and bows his head. It's a clear sign to all his allies and family members that he will support you in the coming battles.
Yeah, Cornelius Severus was our most, our strongest ally of all the families. He supported us during the entire campaign till this point, and he keeps supporting us, of course.
The die has been cast. War is coming to New Rome, a gruesome civil war that threatens to rip apart everything at the seams. With the savages at the borders, you don't have much time for these inner conflicts. You'll have to act as quickly as possible and put an end to all this.
Yeah, so we have this objective to reunite the Roman provinces, because we have the Pict threat from the north, and we also have a new threat, because demonic gates were opened and the Fomorian hordes are starting to invade here in Middle Britannia as well. So Fomorians will be your main enemies in the main campaign, and you will also meet them in this prologue campaign in the later stage.
Fools! You have done more for the province than all of them put together, and yet they refuse to see your true potential? It appears we'll have no choice but to make them see reason by force. To save New Rome, we must first strike down its enemies within. Prepare for war, Septimus.
So first we will have to defeat the Caracalas, because the Caracalas, they don't like us, and they did not support us, while all of the other families did. So
You can see that their province is red. It means that they are our
enemies
only
now.
enemy now.
Yeah.
On my way.
Okay, so first, let's get into diplomacy a little bit more.
Yeah, because against the Caracalas, I guess that some military exercise will be useful.
Yeah, that's correct.
The most powerful army in Eboracum belongs to Horatius Quintus. He commands great strategists and experienced soldiers. You might take advantage of the good relations between the two families and organize a joint military exercise.
So, we also have several choices. We can choose a general exercise where it costs us gold, and it will give extra experience points to all of our units, but it will decrease our army's movement point in the next turn. Or we can choose this exercise of arms option, where we only upgrade our cavalry units or our infantry units. Or we can choose the allied training, where two of our units that we can choose get 15% extra damage or extra defense. I think we'll use this because experience is always good for all of our units. So these are the consequences of the quest, depending on your decisions what you did. And for example, we can also choose the Brigantes, and we can get a blessing from them.
Your previous adventures gained you a loose alliance with the druid of the Brigantes. You could ask him to perform a blessing ritual on you in return for your services. But such a request would dim your current image of a selfless nobleman in their eyes.
Yes, we won't be selfless noblemen anymore. What a shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think...
I'm tyrant, I don't care
yes.
about their opinion.
Okay, so I think I will choose this. I wish to be blessed by the ancient spirits, and that will give me 5% extra spell power. But it will decrease the reputation with the Brigantes, but now I don't care. Okay.
Later we will defeat them, so...
Yeah, if you take it that way, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so let's see what we have at the Sentinels. Non-aggression treaty, that's always good. But if you want to attack them, then not. But, for example, we can choose this for a couple of turns, and then when it's over, we can take them down.
Relations between the Order of the Sentinels and the province of Eboracum have always been fairly good, marred only by rumors about the Caracalas and the questionable dealings of the Mathalas. A military conflict with them is quite unlikely. Still, it is perhaps wise to establish separate relations and prepare for that unlikely event.
So, let it be this one. That will increase our reputation with them. But we won't lose an artifact, and that's good. Okay. So, let's end the turn because we don't have movement points anymore. This is summer. So we have to take...
I want to check that how... Yeah. how strong they are.
So they're really not strong, so it's a perfect chance to try the auto battle function, because if you don't want to fight every battle while the enemy is weak or very weak, you can choose the auto battle function. Of course you will lose some of your soldiers in your units, but it's really not a huge price. So as you can see, against a weak army you don't lose too many soldiers, and then you can concentrate a lot more on the really huge tactical battles where you have to think carefully about your steps.
Your quest has taken you into the forgotten corners of the land, and it was inevitable that you would discover artifacts that I created a long time ago to defend Eboracum. Like the scroll you've just found. Now I'm going to let you in on my little secret. You must have thought that the wall was my masterwork. But I also made preparations in case it wouldn't hold. So I built the Colossuses and sent them to sleep in the middle of your city. They are sheer arcane might, bound to stone, and they'll serve you with blind obedience. I crafted 3 scrolls that grant power over these majestic constructs. You have to find these scrolls.
So we will have to find these scrolls. Actually, this was Hadrian, a former Roman emperor, and actually he is a spirit already, but
don't spoil the story, be careful.
Okay, so somehow you met him, and somehow he can speak to you, but play the game and you will find out how. So this is a castle location, and we can get access to our unit reserve. That means that we can station our units here and then pick them back.
Change them.
Yeah, and we can also fill up our units who got losses in the battles. So we can upload our units. It of course costs you gold, and it takes 1 turn always to upload your units.
It's always 1 turn.
Yeah, and this is the location, so you can upgrade it in winter, of course.
Ready to serve.
So end the turn, and
Senator Sula, the civil war is over.
Because you defeated.
The remaining members of the Senate assure you of their absolute support, and the citizens of the capital stand behind you as well. You are now free to begin your work as governor of Eboracum. May your deeds restore the glory of our province. Ave!
So because you defeated the Caracalas, now every family supports you, and you successfully united the Roman provinces.
yes, that's true. And I think we should recapture this
On
from
my
the
way.
Picts as well, because formerly this province belonged to us. But it was captured by that Pict horde that we just defeated in the battle you saw. So now you can see that on the campaign map, the provinces that are ruled by the Roman families are all blue, because now they all belong to us. Now, we have to do other duty. We have to tend other duties as well, of course. So in the later stages of the campaign, this area should be taken as well. It is ruled by Queen Molohote, Lord Marcus, Lord William, and the Fomorians.
Fomorians.
Yes. So this is the Redlands, and this is ruled by the Fomorians. They will be your main enemies in the main campaign. So it will be good to defeat them. They are actually demon-like creatures from the dawn of creation. And
So you can't talk to them.
yes, you can't establish diplomatic relations with them because they don't want to talk. They just destroy everything that comes to their path. And this is Windmarsh. So, and of course the Sentinels and the Brigantess are also there. But this is New Rome. So, I think that we showed everything today. Maybe we will show King Arthur 2 another time as well. It depends on many things. I hope
soon.
yes, see you soon. I really hope that you enjoyed this tour in King Arthur 2 Dead Legions, and don't forget that if you pre-order the main game now, then you can get this for free, and you can see how the later parts of this campaign unfolds. And if you do it on Steam, then you can start playing now, even today. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough, and thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.